ज्ञानदायिनी, सबको सद्बुद्धि आधार दो, मानवता हित जो जले निरंतर, दीपक जैसा ज्ञान अपार दो। कहा गया है, सद्गुरु की महिमा अनंत, अनंत कियो उपकार, पिंजर प्रेम प्रकाश यो अनंत दिखावनहार। ऐसे ही समाज की सबसे महत्वपूर्ण इकाई अर्थात शिक्षक को सशक्तता प्रदान करने वाले आभाषिक की AICT ट्रेनिंग एंड लर्निंग अटल के इस वर्ष के कैलेंडर के विमोचन के अवसर पर मैं आभाषिक में पधारे सभी अतिथियों का हार्दिक स्वागत एवं अभिनंदन कर सकती हूँ। हमारे माननीय अध्यक्ष प्रोफेसर अनिल डी सहस्त्रबुद्धे जी, हमारे उपाध्यक्ष महोदय प्रोफेसर MP पुनिया जी, हमारे सदस्य सचिव महोदय प्रोफेसर राजीव कुमार जी मंच पर पधार चुके हैं। मैं श्री ममता रानी अग्रवाल सलाहकार वन आभाषिक जी को भी मंच पर अपना स्थान ग्रहण करने का आग्रह करती हूँ। सभी का मंच पर बहुत बहुत स्वागत और इस प्रांगण में मैं पुनः आप सबका स्वागत करती हूँ। डरती है उजालों से रात, कितनी भी हो काली, आओ जलाकर ज्ञान का दीपक, मिटाएं जीवनों की अंधियारी। प्रकाश ज्ञान और दीपक परोपकार हित निज अस्तित्व मिटाने का प्रतीक है। मैं मंच की शोभा बने सभी विशिष्ट महानुभावों से दीप प्रज्वलित कर इस कार्यक्रम का शुभारंभ करने का आग्रह करती हूँ एवं श्री श्रेयस जी को मां सरस्वती का आह्वान करने का भी अनुरोध करती हूँ। श्री श्रेयस जी।
श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम। कनिक्रदज्जनुषं प्रब्रुवाण इयरतिवाच मरिते वनावं, सुमङ्गलश्च शकुने भवासि मात्वा काचिदभिभाविष्व्या विदत। मात्वाश्येन उद्वधीन्मासु पर्णो मात्वा विदधिषो मान् वीरो अस्ता। पित्र्यामनुप्रदिशङ्कनिक्रदत्सु मङ्गलो भद्रवादीव देहा, अवक्रन्द दक्षिणतो गृहाणां सुमङ्गलो भद्रवादीश कुन्ते। मानस्तेन ईशतमाघशं सो बृहद्वदेम विदथे सुवीराः। सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै, तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति।
धन्यवाद श्रेयस जी, सभी का हार्दिक आभार एवं धन्यवाद। शिक्षक राष्ट्र की संस्कृति एवं विकास के वे चतुर माली होते हैं जो विद्यार्थियों रूपी पौधों के वे संस्कारों से अपने ज्ञान रूपी खाद देते हैं और अपने श्रम स्वेद से सींचकर उन्हें ज्ञान रूपी खाद देते हैं और अपने श्रम स्वेद से सींचकर उन्हें राष्ट्र रूपी उपवन के सशक्त वृक्ष बनाते हुए राष्ट्र की सक्षमता, सुंदरता और शक्तिशाली होना सुनिश्चित करते हैं। ऐसे ज्ञान रूपी गुरुओं और शिक्षकों के बल पर ही हमारे देश को जगत गुरु बनने का सौभाग्य प्राप्त हुआ। आधुनिक युगांतकारी तकनीकी प्रगति के मौजूदा परिदृश्य में उस शिक्षा से जुड़े शिक्षकों की भूमिका पहले से कहीं अधिक महत्वपूर्ण हो गई है। आभाषिक द्वारा राष्ट्रीय शिक्षा नीति द्वारा होने वाले परिवर्तनों को पहचानने, परिभाषित करने और लागू करने के लिए शिक्षकों के क्षमता निर्माण हेतु प्रशिक्षण एवं कार्यशालाओं की श्रृंखला की परिकल्पना की गई है। अटल FDP, जिसके कैलेंडर 2022-23 के शुभारंभ एवं समन्वयकों के लिए अभिविन्यास कार्यक्रम का आयोजन आज किया जा रहा है। मैं इस अवसर पर ममता रानी मैडम से अनुरोध करती हूँ कि वह कृपया हमारे अध्यक्ष महोदय प्रोफेसर अनिल डी सहस्त्रबुद्धे जी का अभिनंदन पुष्प के द्वारा करें। मैं अनुरोध करती हूँ हमारे आदरणीय उपाध्यक्ष महोदय जी का अभिनंदन करने का। इसके साथ ही मैं अनुरोध करती हूँ हमारे सदस्य सचिव महोदय जी को पुष्प देकर उनका अभिनंदन करने का। बहुत बहुत आभार। एक बार जोरदार तालियों के साथ सभी का स्वागत और सम्मान हो जाए। इस कार्यक्रम को अपनी परिणति तक ले जाने का बीड़ा उठाकर इसे अंतरराष्ट्रीय स्तर पर ले जाने का कर्तव्य अत्यधिक निष्ठा एवं परिश्रम पूर्वक निभा रही हैं हमारी बहु प्रतिभाशाली सलाहकार महोदया श्री ममता रानी अग्रवाल जी, मैं उनसे अनुरोध करती हूँ कि कृपया वह आज इस सभा में औपचारिक स्वागत कथन एवं इस कार्यक्रम की विस्तृत जानकारी देने के लिए मंच पर उपस्थित हूँ। श्रीमती ममता रानी अग्रवाल जी।
धन्यवाद रीना जी। Good afternoon, everyone. Professor Anil Sahasrabudhe, our visionary chairman, AICTE, very dynamic vice chairman, Professor MP Punia, our vibrant member secretary, Professor Rajiv Kumar, our absolutely distinguished dignitaries, Shri Jaswinder Ahuja ji, who is an industry leader, absolutely passionate about academia, Professor Rajita Kulkarni, a mesmerizing academic leader, President Shri Shri University, and Dr. Manu K. Vora, Chairman and President, Business Excellence Inc., United States. He is an academic leader who has been teaching business for more than 3 decades. So we have a very, very interesting combination of all the three dignitaries. Dear coordinators who have physically come here, and all other coordinators who are connected through digital medium, my worthy colleagues from AICTE, and an absolutely amazing ATAL team. It is indeed my proud privilege to address this August gathering on launch of ATAL FDP's calendar 22-23. The higher education system is passing through a transformational phase. To cope up with the global trends, National Education Policy 2020 is a lighthouse for this journey of transformation. Quality teachers community is always a potential force to enforce the changes and plays a pivotal role in development of knowledge building, knowledge sharing, and knowledge dissemination. We all must admit that the progression of disruptive technological advancement and COVID pandemic, there is a paradigm shift in teaching process. Ensuing education is highly collaborative, cross-institutional, cross-cultural, and if I may say, multi-directional, enabling convergence of men and machine. Kindly change the slide. To explore new pedagogies. Previous one, please. Students are well informed and will play a key role as creators of knowledge in a self-paced, self-directed, and interest-based learning ecosystem. Video conferencing, Skype, wikis, blogs, virtual classrooms, simulators, MOOCs, animated laboratories, and personalized data from highly interconnected world have become our new learning techniques. So what should we do in this state of affairs when technology is changing with such a pace? So sharpening the saw, and we must always have time for updating and continuously progressing our skills. In the world of increasing change, complexity, and uncertainty, skills of the past will not serve us today or tomorrow. Technological advances have multiplied since the Industrial Revolution, while social change and demographic diversity give rise to ever more cross-pollinating innovators. Each new generation experiences a world changing faster than ever before. In addition to digitalization, other high impact mega trends are globalization, sustainability, and absolute automation. So, what would be needed if we have such mega trends in existence and progressing with an alarming speed? With these strong digital skills, the new skills required by Education 4.0 will be complex problem solving, critical thinking, creativity, people management, teamwork and collaboration, emotional intelligence, judgment and decision making, negotiation, project management, cognitive flexibility, etc. With these and so many other towering challenges, the need of the hour is comprehensive, rigorous, continuous, outcome-based faculty development program. It is only the motivated, energized, and capable faculty, as envisioned in our NEP, that forms the foundation of entire teaching learning process. Considering these challenges and skill sets, ATAL has planned, and I congratulate each one of you, that you are the proud recipient of an absolutely merit-based faculty development programs that have been selected out of 3,000 proposals which we received. So a hearty congratulations to each one of you. Our objectives for sharpening the saw, as all you can see, that you should have sound domain knowledge and associated skills, application with absolute industry exposure, we made it a mandatory part, pedagogy, skills for need analysis, comprehensive, continuous, and innovative tools of assessment, your interpersonal development and progression towards academic leadership, being confident, and an interpersonal development that will not only take you ahead on professional fronts but also be absolutely instrumental in your personal development. Next slide, please. As you all know, there are three types of ATAL FDPs: basic, advanced, and institutional building FDPs. All the three types of FDPs you are very well aware of. It is a 2 weeks program. First week would be online, where you would be teaching them the theoretical aspects, the research findings, and research journals. You have been provided with a very detailed lesson plan, and second week again a lesson plan has been provided to you. Your timings in the first week are 7 to 9:30 in the evening, whereas industry training in the second week you can accommodate as per the availability, as per the industry consent, but it has to be absolutely hands-on and experiential training. Institutional leadership, as you can see, all the aspects of institutional leadership have been covered. You have also been provided a pre, a during, and a post checklist for each coordinator, as what are you supposed to do before, what are you supposed to do during the faculty development program, and what are you supposed to do after the faculty development program. Specifically, annexures have been provided for research journal analysis. When you select the reputed research journal and deliberate on it, what are its findings? Findings as an individual and findings as a team. Similarly, a reflection journal has been provided, that what have you learned which you will apply in your personal functioning as well as in your professional functioning. So what kind of outcome you have achieved post these faculty development programs. At ATAL, our faculty development programs aim that our esteemed participating colleagues feel a strong sense of achievement post these trainings. I am certain that our FDPs 22-23 would surely help you and other faculty members to be better prepared with disruptive technological advancements, to become competent professionals, capable of contributing effectively towards the welfare of the society and also in their own professional and personal development. Dear coordinators, I call upon you, urge you, request you to be active partners in implementing redesigned ATAL FDPs, engaging faculty members to learn new domains, pedagogies, and apply the knowledge. Always remember, you are drivers of transformation, pillars of quality education deliverance, custodians of moral values, responsible to transform lives into competent, cutting-edge humanitarian technocrats who encourage inclusivity, commemorate diversity, and celebrate excellence, the founding principles of AICT's ATAL FDP. Once again, seeking your heartfelt participation and engagement. Thank you so very much. Jai Hind.
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद महोदय, इतनी सुस्पष्ट एवं सार गर्भित जानकारी इतने सधे हुए शब्दों में देने हेतु। आपने बिल्कुल सही कहा, अनादिकाल से ही शिक्षक की महत्ता का गुणगान उसके द्वारा प्रदत्त ज्ञान से होता है, इसलिए शिक्षकों को सशक्त करना अत्यधिक महत्वपूर्ण कार्य है। किसी भी संगठन एवं कार्यालय की कार्यप्रणाली, संगठन एवं अंतर्निहित शक्ति उसके कुशल प्रशासनिक नेतृत्व पर निर्भर करती है और अखिल भारतीय तकनीकी शिक्षा परिषद की जो उत्कृष्ट कार्यप्रणाली है उसका प्रशासनिक नियंत्रण संभाल रहे हैं हमारे सदस्य सचिव महोदय प्रोफेसर राजीव कुमार जी। मैं प्रोफेसर राजीव कुमार जी से आग्रह करती हूँ कि कृपया वह अपने शब्दों से इस सभा को मार्गदर्शित करें। प्रोफेसर राजीव कुमार जी।
धन्यवाद मैडम। Respected Professor Anil D. Sahasrabudhe, Chairman AICTE, Professor MP Punia, Vice Chairman AICTE, my colleague at AICTE, Mrs. Mamta Agarwal ji, invited coordinators, officers from AICTE, and those who are joining this program through various medium. First of all, good afternoon to each and everyone. And I congratulate our ATAL cell, those who is coordinating the activity of this faculty development program, for conducting, from the last 4 years they are conducting programs, and this year in the phase 1 we are conducting around 275 programs, 200 under ATAL, 60 to 65 under Indian knowledge system, and 13 programs we are conducting under PM's project, that is Gati Shakti initiative. So we are promoting, we are training our faculty members in this Gati Shakti project also. So you all are contributing in national buildings, what our Honorable Prime Minister is expecting from we those who are in education system. So this is an initiative being taken up by our ATAL cell. In past 3 or 4 years, we started in 2018 and we could conduct only 5 FTPs and we trained only around 1,000 faculty members in thrust areas. Then 18-19 we conducted 190 faculty development programs and 10,000 faculty members were trained. And 2021, when pandemic came, we switched over to online mode and 948 faculty development programs were conducted and around 1,15,000 participants, they were certified or given certification in thrust areas. And that was possible just because of the hard work you people that did during that pandemic, that we were not used to of using all such technologies, and you all make things very simple for AICT and we could achieve this milestone. And some of the organizations, they awarded us for this milestone also. And in 21-22, we conducted 1,158 faculty development programs and around 1 lakh faculty members were certified. Although number of faculty members registered for these programs were around 2 lakhs. But you know, this process of certification is rigorous. Only 50% of them, they could get the certificate. So all these figures tells the quality of these faculty development programs. Now, as Madam was telling, we got large number of applications for conducting these faculty development programs. And you all are the proud one, those who have been selected by a rigorous criteria, selection process. And you are here and Madam will guide you and will tell you what is expected out of these FDPs. I hope your past experience and the guidance of our Honorable Chairman, suggestions from our Honorable Chairman will definitely help you in taking this initiative of Government of India, whether it is Gati Shakti or any other initiative forward, and your help and support AICT is always getting, and also in future we expect that you will support us. You will take our initiative forward with all these words. Thank you very much. Thanks for coming to AICT. Namaskar. Jai Bharat.
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद महोदय। 193 व्यक्ति इस कार्यक्रम को ऑनलाइन देख रहे हैं, उनका भी इस कार्यक्रम में बहुत बहुत स्वागत है। खेल नहीं होता कहीं का आधार हो जाना, खेल नहीं होता कहीं का आधार हो जाना, लोहे सा पिघलना पड़ता है। इसी प्रकार अभाषिप के आधार, ऐसी ही हस्ती अभाषिप के सशक्त स्तंभ, जो अपनी दूरदृष्टि, कठिन परिश्रम, नित्य नूतन विजन, राष्ट्र निर्माण की ललक से केवल तकनीकी शिक्षा को ही नहीं बल्कि राष्ट्र को भी ऊंचाइयों के शिखर पर ले जाने में योगदान दे रहे हैं प्रोफेसर एमपी पूनिया जी। मैं आमंत्रित करती हूँ प्रोफेसर एमपी पूनिया जी को अपने विशिष्ट अंदाज में विशिष्ट वक्तव्य हेतु।
नमस्कार। परम सम्माननीय प्रोफेसर अनिल डी शास्त्री जी, हमारे संस्थान के एआईसीटी के मुखिया और देश के गौरव, हमारे साथी प्रोफेसर राजीव, मनु वोरा जी यूएस से जुड़े हुए हैं, एंड नाउ हियर इन इंडिया वी आर हैविंग टाइम 2:30, प्रोबेबली योर टाइम इज अराउंड 4 AM। बहुत जल्दी वोरा साहब आप जगे और हमारा जो सहयोग कर रहे हैं, आज से नहीं, पिछले 2-2.5 साल से जो और टफ टाइम था, जो पूरे विश्व के लिए टफ टाइम था, दैट टाइम योर सपोर्ट वाज वेरी वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग एंड स्टिल इट इज कंटिन्यूइंग। I owe to you, sir, on behalf of AICT, wonderful contribution, and please keep supporting in the same passion and same way, the way you are doing since years. आज हमारे साथ प्रोफेसर कुलकर्णी जी जुड़े हुए हैं, then Mr. Ahuja from industry, and the contribution of Mamta, it's amazing. Mamta, without any infrastructure, AICT doesn't have any college, no NIT, no IIT, nothing is there, and hundreds of coordinators are connected with us. And like Dr. Rajiv was saying, during last 2 years, in a tough time, we have created world record for imparting training to our teachers. So it was an amazing contribution from you, your team. और आप तो एक नया मॉडल लेके आए, टीचर्स ट्रेनिंग का भी आपने मॉडल नया अपना, इट इज टर्म्ड एज ममताज मॉडल, जिसके अंदर the online we are having a different time, and that is evening time, 7 PM to some 9:30 PM। 7 से 7:30 तो कभी ट्रेनिंग का सोचा ही नहीं था ना अपने शिक्षकों ने। 5 बजे घर आते थे, आके चाय पीना ये बच्चों के साथ, और उस टाइम में से सी snatching some 2.5 hours of the teachers। Probably this will be a very successful model, and then remaining 7 days she will be connecting online, then 7 days continuously for the teachers, hands-on part, practical part। और उसके अंदर हमारी जो IITs NITs के पास सॉफ्ट इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर एज वेल एज हार्ड इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर विच इज अवेलेबल, that is getting shared for the betterment of whole technical education in the country. It's amazing initiative. Probably nowhere this type of integration is available. कभी था ही नहीं, कभी सोचा भी नहीं था कि इस तरह से इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर को टीचर्स के हित में इस तरह से यूज कर सकते हैं। Our technical education system is very huge, very large technical education system in the country. We are having every year in engineering and technology around 1 million students are graduating. After China is having around 1.2 million. We are imparting training to 1 million engineering graduates. They are coming out from our system, and country is big, the young population, it is large in number, and certainly making them confident, making them a strong human resource which is socially relevant. That type of environment we people will have to provide, and that can be possible by strengthening our teachers. सपना जो है, आत्मनिर्भरता का सपना जो है, प्रधानमंत्री जी का सपना कि विशेष देश बने, शक्तिशाली देश बने, इसके अंदर सबका साथ हो, सबका विकास हो, सबका विश्वास हो, ऐसे इंटीग्रेट करने का ये जो प्लेटफॉर्म अटल के रूप में बना है, इट्स अमेजिंग, एंड इट इज इन दैट डायरेक्शन इन विच कंट्री इज ड्रीमिंग। पूरा देश जिस डायरेक्शन में सपना ले रहा है, उसी डायरेक्शन में ये शुरुआत है। 2017 में, राजीव जी ये बताना भूल गए, 2017 में AICT को रिपोर्ट मिली थी, समवेयर इन 2015। भारत देश के अंदर काव कमेटी, जो फॉर्मर हमारे MHRD के सेक्रेटरी थे, उनके नेतृत्व में कमेटी बनाई गई कि इतना बड़ा एजुकेशन सिस्टम, टेक्निकल एजुकेशन सिस्टम देश के अंदर बन रहा है, तो बच्चे जो निकल रहे हैं, ग्रेजुएट्स आर कमिंग आउट फ्रॉम दिस सिस्टम, हाउ क्वालिटी ऑफ दोज ग्रेजुएट्स कैन बी एंश्योर्ड। अच्छा एक विद्यार्थी कैसे निकले जो अपने आप को पहचाने, अपने परिवार को पहचाने, अपने समाज को पहचाने, अपने देश को पहचाने और पूरी दुनिया के चेहरे पे खुशी लेके आए, ऐसे ग्रेजुएट कैसे तैयार कर सकते हैं। एंड दे हैव गिवन मेनी सजेशंस टू अस। AICT को उन्होंने काफी नए सजेशन दिए, और 2017 में जो काव कमेटी ने हमें सजेशन दिए थे, वी स्टार्टेड वर्किंग ऑन दैट वन, एंड फर्स्ट एंड इंपॉर्टेंट सजेशन विच दे सेड कि आप इस करिकुलम को, जो अपन शिक्षा दे रहे हैं, उस करिकुलम को चेंज करिए, बिकॉज इंडस्ट्री के अंदर जब 1 मिलियन स्टूडेंट्स जब इंडस्ट्री में जाते हैं, Industries are saying many inputs, they are giving many inputs to us. वो कहते हैं कि आपने जो चीजें पढ़ाई क्लास के अंदर वो तो हमारे काम के ही नहीं है. We are moving on the path where we'll have to compete globally. और आप जो चीजें क्लास के अंदर पढ़ा रहे हैं that is outdated. आप स्टीम इंजन पढ़ा रहे हैं, हम बुलेट ट्रेन की बात कर रहे हैं. So there is no alignment. Please change your curriculum. So हमारे अध्यक्ष जी के नेतृत्व में और मेनली आईआईटीज और इंडस्ट्री की हेल्प से हमने पूरा करिकुलम रिवैम्प किया, सारा का सारा करिकुलम, एंड दैट इज टर्म्ड एज मॉडल करिकुलम ऑफ एआईसीटी. पूरे देश की यूनिवर्सिटीज में आज एक सा करिकुलम है. करिकुलम चेंज किया तो उसके साथ काफी इमर्जिंग एरियाज भी आए, काफी नई टेक्नोलॉजीज भी आई, और जिस गति से नई टेक्नोलॉजीज आ रही हैं उनके साथ न्याय करना. करिकुलम चाहे कुछ भी बना दो, आप क्रेडिट कुछ भी रख दो, पढ़ाने का तरीका कुछ भी रख दो, बट फॉर दैट पर्पस वी हैव टू हैव कॉम्पिटेंट टीचर्स हु कैन डू जस्टिस विद दैट करिकुलम. उन इमर्जिंग एरियाज को पढ़ाएगा कौन? So same time the new initiatives as per the CAO committee that competent teachers in the country will have to have. तो उसके साथ अपने ये मॉडल भी बनाया कि टीचर्स को भी ट्रेनिंग इम्पार्ट करें, एंड पर्टिकुलरली जो करिकुलम चेंज कर दिया है उसके हिसाब से टीचर्स भी तैयार होने चाहिए. एंड दैट टाइम इंटीग्रेशन ऑफ दैट करिकुलम एंड while delivery is coming into the classes, then competent teachers will have to have. और उसके लिए अटल वाले प्रोग्राम हमने शुरू किए जिसके अंदर लार्ज नंबर ऑफ टीचर्स इट हैज बीन इम्पार्टेड ट्रेनिंग. और सिर्फ हमने अकेलों ने नहीं किया, मनु वोरा साहब जैसे जो लोग बाहर भी बैठे हुए उन्होंने भी हमारा सहयोग किया, इंडस्ट्रीज ने सहयोग किया. आपके जो जितनी क्वालिटी टीचर्स आपके पास थे इंडस्ट्री से आपने कनेक्ट करके हमारे टीचर्स को कॉन्फिडेंस दिलाया. तीसरी बात जो हमारे काओ कमेटी में और हमारी जो एग्जीक्यूटिव काउंसिल ने कहा कि बच्चों का प्रैक्टिकल भी जो है मजबूत होना चाहिए. इंडस्ट्री तभी एक्सेप्ट करेगी व्हेन चिल्ड्रन आर प्रैक्टिकली स्ट्रांग. उसके लिए हम इंटर्नशिप पॉलिसी लेके आए, और इंटर्नशिप पॉलिसी से भी काम नहीं होगा, आपको लेबोरेटरी में भी तो अच्छे टीचर्स होने चाहिए जो बच्चों को हैंड्स ऑन पार्ट इंप्रूव कराए. सो नाउ द ट्रेनिंग व्हिच वी आर इम्पार्टिंग टू द टीचर्स, इन दैट केस द प्रैक्टिकल कंपोनेंट, द हैंड्स ऑन पार्ट, वेयर इंडस्ट्रीज आर पॉइंटिंग आउट दैट योर ग्रेजुएट्स आर वीक इन प्रैक्टिकल पार्ट, इन हैंड्स ऑन पार्ट. तो टीचर्स का हाथ मजबूत करने के लिए हमने ये 7 दिन का आपका एक सेकंड वीक जो रखा है, एंड प्लीज कंसंट्रेट स्ट्रांगली ऑन दैट वन, दैट इज ए नीड ऑफ द आवर. आपका जब तक साइंस को टेक्नोलॉजी की फॉर्म में और टेक्नोलॉजी को कुछ इनोवेशन प्रोडक्ट की फॉर्म में कन्वर्ट नहीं कर पाएंगे तब तक देश आगे नहीं बढ़ेगा. आत्मनिर्भरता तभी आएगी, लेकिन वो प्रोडक्ट तभी बन पाएगा या इनोवेशन तभी हो पाएगा व्हेन कंसेप्ट्स ऑफ द स्टूडेंट्स आर क्लियर एंड सेम टाइम दे आर यूटिलाइजिंग देयर कंसेप्ट्स इन प्रैक्टिकल एप्लीकेशंस. वो हैंड्स ऑन पार्ट आप जो बच्चों का मजबूत होना है, ये शुरुआत का ये बेसिकली हमारी जो सोच थी इंडस्ट्री के इनपुट के हिसाब से, उसी के हिसाब से इसको शुरू किया गया. एंड फोर्थ वन, इंटर्नशिप के साथ साथ अगला जो पार्ट जो था, इंडस्ट्रीज वर सेइंग द स्टूडेंट्स आर बिकमिंग हाईली मेटेरियलिस्टिक. वो पैसे के पीछे भाग रहे हैं, वो पैकेजेस के पीछे भाग रहे हैं, एंड ऑब्जर्व भी कर रहे हैं, आप लोग भी ऑब्जर्व कर रहे होंगे. बच्चे जब 12वीं के बाद पहली बार क्लासेज में आ रहे हैं, पहला क्वेश्चन हमारे से यही पूछ रहे हैं, सर मैंने इस पर्टिकुलर ब्रांच में एडमिशन लिया, आफ्टर 4 years व्हाट पैकेज आई विल बी गेटिंग. वो पैकेज की बात कर रहा है, वो जिम्मेवारियों की बात नहीं कर रहा है. तो उसके साथ साथ हमने यूनिवर्सल ह्यूमन वैल्यूज, बच्चों के इंडक्शन प्रोग्राम, उनको ये समझाने के लिए कि मनी इज इंपॉर्टेंट इन द लाइफ, बट इट इज नॉट दैट इंपॉर्टेंट दैट फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन यू आर आस्किंग फ्रॉम द टीचर्स एंड यू आर आस्किंग अबाउट द पैकेजेस. कम से कम भारतीय दर्शन में तो ऐसी बातें नहीं थी, हम तो देने वाले थे दुनिया को, और वो देने वाली जो बातें हैं वो हमने यूनिवर्सल ह्यूमन वैल्यूज और भारतीय ज्ञान परंपरा को भी हमने इसके साथ एजुकेशन के साथ जोड़ा है. तो आप लोग भी जब टीचर से संवाद करेंगे, मैं 3 पार्ट आपको टीचर्स ट्रेनिंग में मैं उम्मीद करता हूं आप लोगों से, हर एक से जो है हमारे साथ कोऑर्डिनेटर जुड़े हुए हैं. We people are sincere, we are in teaching profession, and certainly our fundamentals are very strong. जिस सब्जेक्ट को वर्षों से पढ़ा रहे हैं, we are confident enough, our fundamentals are strong. So if 1 week hands-on part it is there, 2 days you please spare, you please share your knowledge with the teachers. पहले 2 दिन जो है आप लोग उनके साथ लगिए. Next 2 days, whatever knowledge it is getting imparted to them, what is the application of that knowledge? वो ज्ञान कहाँ पे यूज हो रहा है, आप उसके साथ प्रैक्टिकल एप्लीकेशन के लिए इंडस्ट्रीज को जोड़िए. एंड प्रोविजन ऑफ दैट वन इन आवर पैकेज इट हैज बीन प्रोवाइडेड कि आप पैसा आप एक्सटर्नल एक्सपर्ट्स को भी दे सकते हैं, इंडस्ट्री एक्सपर्ट्स को भी दे सकते हैं. सो फर्स्ट 2 days फॉर द कंसेप्ट, द फंडामेंटल्स which you people are strong, and that can be imparted to our teachers. Second one, practical part with the help of industries, उस पे लगाइए. And third part which I am expecting that what new researches are going on in those areas, उसके लिए जहां पे भी कुछ आपके साथी, चाहे आपके CSIR लैब्स हैं, चाहे आपकी IITs हैं, चाहे आपकी इंडस्ट्रीज में रिसर्च हो रही है, चाहे इंडियन ऑयल कॉर्पोरेशन में हो रहा है, चाहे बेल में हो रहा है, जहां पे भी हो रहा है इन पब्लिक सेक्टर्स, प्लीज डू इनवाइट दोज पीपल. सो कंप्लीट पैकेज ऑफ दैट टीचर्स ट्रेनिंग प्लीज गिव टू देम, जिससे जो है जब वो क्लास के अंदर जाए their input, their confidence will be something different. उसके साथ साथ हमने एक जो और नया इनिशिएटिव शुरू किया, दैट इज मैंडेटरी टीचर्स ट्रेनिंग. इट इज नॉट इन द कोर एरिया, बट हाउ टीचिंग इट हैज टू बी डन. एक टीचर का रोल क्या होता है, व्हाट आर द एक्सपेक्टेशंस ऑफ द सोसाइटी फ्रॉम द टीचर्स. बच्चे टीचर से क्या एक्सपेक्ट करते हैं, even the instruction planning, delivery, assessment of the students, ICT skills, the role of teachers in strengthening the environment, आपके sustainable development goals, everything we have kept into that mandatory teachers training. And जो भी नया टीचर हमारे टीचिंग प्रोफेशन में आ रहा है, for them it is mandatory. वो टीचर का प्रोबेशन पीरियड तभी कंप्लीट माना जाएगा फ्रॉम AICT साइड, जब वो मॉड्यूल्स जो है 8 मॉड्यूल्स हमने जो डिजाइन किए हैं वो मॉड्यूल्स स्वयं पे कंप्लीट कर लेता है. एंड नॉट ओनली दोज 8 मॉड्यूल थियोरेटिकल मॉड्यूल्स रिलेटेड टू पेडागोजी, उसको 1 महीने के लिए इंटर्नशिप के लिए भी इंडस्ट्री में जाना है. मैंडेटरी इंटर्नशिप फॉर टीचर्स, इट इज नॉट फॉर स्टूडेंट्स. दैट इज 1 month internship, it is there. After completing those 8 modules, after completing that 1 month internship, the new entrants in the teaching profession, those teachers will be coming in the classes. They'll be taking classes, but in their class some senior teacher will sit. वो सीनियर टीचर उनको बताएगा कि व्हाट आर द गैप्स. आपके जो लर्निंग आउटकम्स उन 8 मॉड्यूल्स और इंटर्नशिप के हिसाब से होने चाहिए, विच इट इज गेटिंग इंप्लीमेंटेड इन द क्लास, वेयर आर द गैप्स. अगर वो चीजें भी वहां पे वो कवर करता है, टीचर इंप्रूव करता है, देन द टीचर हु इज सिटिंग इन हिज क्लास, सीनियर टीचर, वो सर्टिफिकेट देगा कि नाउ यू आर एलिजिबल टू टीच द स्टूडेंट. सो तीनों आपके जो डायमेंशन है उसकी ट्रेनिंग की पूरी करनी है, देन ही इज बिकमिंग एलिजिबल टीचर इन टीचिंग इन आवर टेक्निकल इंस्टीट्यूट्स. और सेम टाइम जो सीनियर टीचर्स हैं, एसोसिएट प्रोफेसर हैं, उनके साथ हाउ इंस्टीट्यूट कैन बी हैंडल्ड, हाउ प्लानिंग ऑफ फाइनेंसेस कैन बी डन इन द इंस्टीट्यूट्स, हाउ दे कैन गो फॉर द क्वालिटी एश्योरेंसेस, वो ह्यूमन रिसोर्स को कैसे मैनेज कर सकते हैं, हाउ दे कैन डिवाइस द विजन ऑफ द इंस्टीट्यूट. उस तरह के 6 मॉड्यूल हमने सीनियर टीचर्स के लिए भी बनाए हैं. सो AICT इज वर्किंग इन मेनी एरियाज for the improvement of the education in the country, but alone AICT can't do miracles, and for that purpose we'll have to have a team, strong team. और इस तरह का जो एसोसिएशन यहाँ पे दिख रहा है, AICT के जो एफर्ट दिख रहे हैं, अगर इंटीग्रेट करेंगे, certainly the dream of the country, dream of every citizen which we are having, they'll be able to have strong faith on us that something very special it is being done for the betterment of society. Best wishes for everyone. Hope this initiative, and particularly adding these practical skills for the teachers, it will improve the quality of technical education, and dream of NEP will be fulfilled through this one. Best wishes.
Thank you so much, sir. And under the dynamic leadership of our honorable chairman, this model, sir, should be called M3. Sir, your first name, Mahavir, and then Manuji, and then Mamta. So actually, sir, Punya, sir, see the number of times I deliberated this model with you. So first, it should be M cube, your name, and then Manu sir's name. And Manu sir, my heartfelt gratitude to you from this forum. This would have not been possible without you, sir. And now we would request Jaswinder Ahoja ji to kindly address this August gathering. Thank you so very much.
Thank you very much, Mamta. And I'd like to first of all congratulate everyone on the launch of this year's FDP. I've gone through the documents that Mamta ji shared. It's a very comprehensive and an excellent program, and congratulations to everybody who's been involved in putting this program together. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to share some of my thoughts with this audience. I had a few talking points prepared, but the excellent presentations that have been done so far by Mamta ji and Professor Punya covered a lot of the points that I wanted to talk about. But I'll reinforce a couple of them and then try to improvise on the fly. The first point, I think Professor Punya mentioned the importance of internships, the feedback that he's been getting from industry. And I want to echo that once more as somebody who does a lot of recruitment from universities and engineering graduates from universities, that the internships are indeed extremely important. And if we can make room in the curriculum for 6 months of internship, I have even gone to the extreme recommendation of saying, let's increase engineering from 4 years to 5 years and make the last 1 year as an internship or apprenticeship and not give a degree till students have completed it. But I think that's too radical. And most people will strangle me if engineering education went from 4 years to 5 years. But I think I cannot emphasize enough the importance of hands-on, practical, real-world project execution and the role that internships play in preparing our students for the real world. So that's one. I think there was a lot of talk about change earlier on, and I want to echo. There's this very famous quote that's used in industry, which is, "Change is the only constant." And looking at our industry, I mean, we are from the semiconductor and electronics and systems industry. The pace of change was driven always by Moore's law, right, which talks about everything sort of doubles every 18 to 24 months. Now that's changed. A lot of new technologies have come. But there was a period where, instead of 2 years, it went down to 18 months and 15 months. And we evolved that quote to say change is the only constant to the constantly accelerating pace of change is the only constant. And we are really, really witnessing today with multiple technology waves coming together around artificial intelligence and machine learning and hyperscale computing and autonomous driving, industry 4.0, et cetera, et cetera. We are seeing so many different technology waves that are coming that are really generational waves. These are going to drive progress in technology, the application of technology and mankind in general over the next at least 10 years, if not more. Why am I saying all this? The reason I'm saying all this is I think what's important for each one of us is that we need to become lifelong learners. Right? I've seen in my career of 35 odd years that I've had to relearn certain aspects of technology every 3 to 5 years. Whatever I know, whatever I've learned is obsolete in less than 5 years. And we have to learn a new set of skills, a new set of technologies that are coming down the pipeline. Just think about it this way, right? When I started my education, we used to program in Fortran. And if you think about the waves we've gone through from Fortran to C to C++ to God knows what came in between, and now there is 24 different languages, all tied towards programming use in machine learning. So the change is just constant. So we all need to become lifelong learners. And I think that is one of the most important responsibilities that faculty members have, is to inspire students and to ignite their passion to become lifelong learners, to help them realize that this is something that they have to do. And the only way they can do it is by truly role modeling that behavior, by becoming lifelong learners yourself, embracing that, and then transmitting that passion onto your students. I want to very quickly narrate a story from my final year in college. I did my undergraduate from IT BHU, which now is IIT Varanasi. And we used to have this annual technical competition called Technics. And a group of us from electronics engineering and mechanical engineering got together and said, let's do something that's never been done before. And again, in 1985, this was quite radical. We decided to put together a fully functional pick and place robot, which was going to be controlled by a microprocessor based kit, right? Which honestly in 1985 was radical. We reached out to one of the faculty members in the electronics department, who we knew was actually very strict, but also very, very supportive of students doing hands-on practical stuff. And he used to always encourage us to do more practical stuff. And we needed a space to do this project. We requested him for access to his lab and some other resources, which he gladly gave us. For about 2 months, all of us were diligently working on this robot that we wanted to put forward in the competition. Our faculty sponsor would stop by from time to time, checking on how we were doing, asking questions, offering a few suggestions here and there. We got the whole thing together, right? And 2 or 3 days before the competition, we realized that the robot did sort of 10% of what we wanted it to do. In the remaining 90%, it wasn't functioning. And we all panicked. We didn't know what the problem was. And I think our faculty sponsor came in, and for the next 3 days, he worked side by side with us in debugging what the real issues were, helping us find solutions, guiding us, doing a lot of the work. I remember on that last night, we literally worked the whole night together. He was sitting on the floor with us, with the tools in hand, saying, "Iska ye wala gear theek nahi hai. Let me help you," and file off a few edges and fine tune it and smoothen it and apply the grease and so on and so forth. And honestly, the next day morning, of course, our robot worked. I would say a very large part of the credit for making that project work went to our faculty member. But that's not the essence of the story. The essence of the story is that as a student, I learned more from those last 2 or 3 days working with this faculty member than I did in a lot of the rest of the curriculum and the knowledge and the classes that I attended. And what's the essence? The essence is, number one, I learned about dignity of labor. The faculty member didn't shy away from sitting on the floor with us and doing what needed to be done. That's a very profound lesson that I think has stayed with me for my entire career. He really taught us around the importance of debugging, right? I mean, now we talk about debugging as something that's pretty common in the software paradigm. But for any system to work, it's not going to work as designed right off the bat, right? You have to root cause what is limiting it from achieving its full potential or working the way it should work. And really that root causing, the problem solving, teamwork, collaboration. I think there is so many things that we learned through that interaction with our faculty sponsor over this period of time that I think for all of us who were part of that project, I think if you asked any one of us, we'd say that was perhaps the most profound learning experience of our undergraduate experience. And I want to leave you with this thought that ignite the passion to become lifelong learners, help them learn how to learn. And most importantly, the students are not just listening to what you say, they are watching what you do. And I think that role modeling is extremely, extremely important. So once again, congratulations on the launch of this FDP. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to share some of my thoughts.
थैंक यू वेरी मच सर। अब मैं आमंत्रित करती हूँ प्रोफेसर रजिता कुलकर्णी जी, प्रेसिडेंट श्री श्री यूनिवर्सिटी भुवनेश्वर उड़ीसा जी को अपना वक्तव्य रखने हेतु। प्रोफेसर रजिता कुलकर्णी जी।
Namaste. Thank you very much. Dr. Professor Anil Sahasrabudhe, Chairman of AICT, Professor MP Punia, Vice Chairman AICT, Professor Rajiv Kumar, Member Secretary AICT, Mamta Rani Agarwal ji, Mr. Ahuja ji and Dr. Manu Vora ji, all the other ST panelists and all the participants of this FDP. Firstly, my really heartiest congratulations for such a unique and such a momentous day today. We have our, the youngest president of our country, the First Lady Tribal, was sworn in as the president of our country, and on this day, we are initiating this very important FDP. So heartiest congratulations to the whole team who put it together, and that we are doing this in a hybrid mode is really wonderful. And thanks for inviting me. It was wonderful to hear the thoughts and the insights from the previous speakers, and the vision for this FDP is really huge. I think we are at a time in the where the NEP is disrupting what education can be for our country. In all my interactions with educators from around the world, I don't think there is any country in the world where there is so much excitement around the field of education as there is in our country right now. Also, we are at a very watershed moment in the life of us as humans. We are just emerging out of the pandemic. It is still not completely behind us, and that has disrupted. The whole world. It has disrupted every industry, as it has disrupted, the space of education, which we have all experienced in this last 2.5 years. So there are a few overarching, I think, realities or trends that we need to be aware of as educators. Firstly, we all know, and there is research which is showing us that what will be the top 5 or 10 jobs in 2030. We don't know that yet. And 2030 is not very far away, just 7.5, 8 years away now. So the top 5-10 jobs of 2030 are not known. I remember, in year 2000, we were all giving talks on what will the world look like in 2020. Well, the future that we spoke about then is now. It has come now. So we are the 2040 is become the 2020 of what we used to talk about in the year 2000. So the future is getting accelerated and it has come now. Mr. Ahuja just spoke about the rapidly accelerating and changing face of technology, and that is overtaking and really integrating in our world. Robotics, AI, ML. I think there is no more man or machine. It is about how man and machine is getting integrated. I recently read an article that just in this year alone, in 2022, close to 150 million jobs, new jobs will get created and about 75 million current jobs will get displaced. That is huge. You go anywhere around the world, the way people work is changing. Also, the way our industry is hiring is changing. A recent McKinsey survey said that 85% of the managers they interviewed said that they want to hire more for skills than for roles. They said that we will hire more freelance and temporary than long term. So the way industry is recruiting is changing. So if that be the environment that we are operating in, and that be the environment our students are going to enter, what does it mean for us as faculty members and teachers? It is putting a huge different spin on the kind of expectations from our students. And I want to take a minute to talk about that. If you look at what the students are entering in the world, there is also research which says that, of course, COVID aside, lifespans are going to increase to almost 90 to 100 years, average lifespans. And each of us will land up having 6 careers in our life, 6 distinct careers. So gone is the time when I would graduate at 20 or 22, and what I learned at that time will suffice me for the rest of my life. So things are changing, and that is, I think, putting an incredible it is disrupting what is expected out of our students as well as they graduate. Just to look at it in 3 big buckets, I'm going to keep it short because of the time that we have. If you really look at the professional skills that are required out of them, we have all spoken about it. They need to be critical thinkers. They need to be creative. Today, we are as good as the innovation that happened yesterday. So if our students want to be, having a differentiator, they have to be creative. They have to be able to communicate and collaborate. But this is not enough. They need to have some personal skills also. The pandemic showed us the importance of resilience, the importance of adaptability, the importance of being agile, and mental, physical, emotional strength. Today, a student who might have 2 PhDs, but if he or she is not able to deal with his or her emotions, that student will not be able to make a success of his professional lives. So not only professional skills are needed, very, very crucial personal skills are needed. And I think there are what I personally call present future skills. Number 1, multi-stakeholder sensitivity. We are a flat world. What I do affects everybody around me, all my stakeholders. How sensitive, how aware am I of that? Number 2, multi-generational adaptability. Chairman sir will agree, our colleges and universities are a perfect example of that. Our oldest professor may be in the 60 to 70 age group, and our students, youngest students, are in the 15 to 20. So we have 8 generations. So how am I able to work in this multi-generational setup? Also cultural relatability, multicultural relatability. So all these are expectations out of our students. And if you and me as teachers have to prepare students, nurture students who have all these skills, then how do we need to be? I think there are many, many nuances, many, many changed expectations out of what we need to be as teachers and faculty members. I'm going to talk a few of them, and I'm sure this FDP will cover a lot of that. I think number 1 is how open-minded we ourselves are, and how much do we use our own whole brain. I think the time of left and right brain is behind us. We need to look at whole brain. You know, students these days are doing midbrain activation, you know that. So if our students are coming with the midbrain activation of intuitiveness, then me as a teacher, how much of my whole brain am I using? I think that is something we have to think about, number one. Number two, how flexible are we? Today, you know, 2 years we have seen that we could teach online. Okay, it may not have been the most, it may not have been to our best satisfaction, but we were able to do it. And you know, things will happen in the world that will need us to be flexible. So how flexible are we in our approach and our teaching is going to really define our ability to be great teachers. Number three, and I think Mr. Ahuja spoke about it, our own learning. I always tell anybody who I meet in the teaching, fraternity, that if I am not learning something new every day, if not every week, how am I going to be able to teach my students something new? So can I be a student teacher myself is going to define again how successful I am going to be to prepare my students. So open-minded and full brain integration. Number two, flexible. Number three, student teacher. Number four, I think teaching has gone much beyond the classroom. You know, all of you are using so many digital mediums to reach students beyond the classroom. I think it will go more and more beyond the classroom. The classroom will become a simulation cubicle, but learning and teaching will go beyond the classroom. And it is for us to disrupt how that can be. So that will be a fourth very big expectation out of us as teachers. Also, our role will change not just as a sharer of information, but more as a mentor and coach. More and more as we have, open information available. You know, gone are the days when students had to sit hours and hours in libraries. We know that we are teaching a Google generation today. So if I am teaching a Google generation where information is available freely, what is that value add I am making to my students' life? By being a coach, by being a mentor, by being a troubleshooter, the story which Mr. Ahuja told about the teacher really being a partner in the project of the student. I think that is something we need to think about. And I think most importantly, again, connecting to the part that we will have 6 careers now, our students will have. So how are we teaching our students to learn more than to just learn a subject? I think teaching the ability to learn is going to be very, very important. So as the world is evolving and emerging, the expectations out of our students as they enter industry or start their own enterprise is evolving and emerging. And I think that puts a huge compulsion on the role of teachers and faculty members, and that will keep evolving and emerging. And I think these are some broad themes that I see now. Of course, there is a lot more that we need to speak about in detail, and I think the FDP will address that. So I wish you a great learning time. I think any time spent in learning is really a great good fortune for ourselves, because to take the time to deepen our own knowledge, I think nothing better than that. And heartiest congratulations to AICT again to bring teachers and coordinators from the whole country together, and doing this in a time, I think one of the speakers spoke, Mamta ji, you have disrupted even the way this is being done by accommodating it in a time of the day where, you know, the teaching part is not disrupted for the faculty members. So congratulations on this, and thank you very much for making me a part of this. I wish the program a very big success. Namaste.
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद महोदय इतनी महत्वपूर्ण जानकारी देने के लिए। एक मार्गदर्शक नेतृत्व वह होता है जो पूर्व पद्धति पर न चलकर समकालीन और असल समस्याओं से लड़ते हुए हर परिस्थिति में समाधान तलाशते हैं। ऐसी ही बेजोड़ प्रतिभा का नेतृत्व अवाचिप को प्राप्त हो रहा है हमारे अध्यक्ष प्रोफेसर अनिल डी सहस्त्रबुद्धे जी के रूप में।
Yeah, first of all, I would like to launch this ATAL FDP program. There is the
मैं प्रेरणा संदेश हेतु सर से अनुरोध करती
नमस्कार। एक बहुत महत्वपूर्ण कार्यक्रम में हम सब इकट्ठा हुए हैं। अटल एकेडमी के 22-23 इस सेशन का अटल एकेडमी कैलेंडर, जिसमें 200 प्रोग्राम्स पहले हमने चुने थे, उसके अलावा अभी और एडिशनल 13 प्रोग्राम हमने जोड़े हैं। ये गति शक्ति के हैं, तो इकट्ठा 213 प्रोग्राम का आज लॉन्च हो रहा है। At the outset, I would like to first of all say sorry to our friend Dr. Manu Vora, who was listed before me, but I have overtaken him, and that's why my due apologies. Since he has anyway got up at 4 o'clock, so he's already well awake, so he can remain. If he was about to sleep, I would have given him the first opportunity. That is my take on this particular issue. And Jaswinder Ahuja ji, who spoke before me, Professor Rajita Kulkarni, who spoke before me, Dr. Punya, Dr. Rajiv Kumar, and Mamata, all of them had spoken. Almost everything that caters to or talks about this FDP programs. Starting from when did we start, why did we start, to how we have transformed, how we have changed it. And each one of them, when they were talking about some of their experiences as to how teacher is a focal point in an education system. And that's why we often say that today's education system, which has been narrated by the National Education Policy 2020, which is often called as student-centric policy, student-first policy, but teacher-led policy. And therefore, students and teachers are very important part of this entire policy. Of course, there are other stakeholders, the laboratory staff, the library staff, the computer staff. We have also the parents, we have industry who comes in for recruitment purposes, for various other aspects. So they are all required to be part of the system. But the two important elements in the education systems are teachers and students. And students come in, and right from when they come in till they go out, what all things happen, we need to take care of. And that's why the admission processes on basis of which students are selected to come in, and as soon as they come in, how we put them onto student induction program, which is so significant in order to create level playing field between students from different backgrounds, to providing not only theoretical knowledge by the teachers in the colleges and the universities, but the importance of the internships, and those institutions who cannot have their own internship opportunities provided, how AICT has created its own internship portal where more than 1 crore of students are registered, more than 20 odd lakh opportunities already exist, and we are constantly increasing the number of opportunities from departments, both from the government, private sector, startups, to create equal opportunities for all of them to do internships. We also have what is known as innovation ecosystem being developed in the institutions. We have examination reforms. I think you name it, whatever is spoken about in the new national education policy, it has been all rolled out. I have in front of me one of our colleagues, Dr. Ganti Murthy, who will be launching IKS Mela here from this very premises on 29th of July, on which day 2 years of our national education policy will be completed. And this Indian knowledge systems is also important. How in the ancient times, the education was imparted right from Gurukula system to the universities of Takshila, Nalanda, the manner in which the multidisciplinary education was provided, we somehow were missing. How we are bringing back the threads of multidisciplinarity in the new education policy. How multiple exit entries made possible. How academic bank of credits will allow students to have their credits accounted for in their account and then use them whenever they require to encash it. There are fundamentally many things which have happened in the last 2 years which have to be understood by the faculty members, and the connect between students and teachers, which is very fundamental. When Mr. Ahuja was saying about the project that he was doing in BHU in the third or fourth year, when they were not able to solve that, teachers also sat together late night. We often call इन इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेजेस हमने नाइट आउट किया। तो नाइट आउट यानी पूरा रात हम सोए नहीं और काम करते रहे, और वो हमने आज आइडिया लैब के माध्यम से फैकल्टी को भी लाया है। करीब 75 इंस्टीट्यूशंस में आइडिया लैब स्टार्ट किए हैं। आइडिया लैब एंड अटल एकेडमी, दे आर बोथ कॉम्प्लीमेंटरी टू ईच अदर। आइडिया लैब में हमने कहा है कि स्टूडेंट्स को 24/7 लेबोरेटरी को ओपन रखना है। जब भी उनके दिमाग में कोई नई आइडिया आती है तो उस आइडिया को प्रैक्टिस करने के लिए, टेस्ट करने के लिए वो लेबोरेटरी उनके हाथ में रहनी चाहिए। तो ये आइडिया लैब जिसमें 50 लाख उनका इन्वॉल्वमेंट होता है, इंडस्ट्री से इन्वॉल्वमेंट होता है, तो 50 लाख AICT का इन्वॉल्वमेंट है। उसके अलावा कुछ कंज्यूमेबल्स के लिए भी 5-10 लाख वो भी इन्वॉल्व उसमें दिया गया है। और हमने ऐसे कई फैकल्टी डेवलपमेंट प्रोग्राम आइडिया लैब के लिए किए हैं, जिसके जरिए जब फैकल्टी मेंबर 40-50 एक जगह में आते हैं, वो NSUT में हो, कॉलेज ऑफ इंजीनियरिंग पुणे में हो, DY पाटिल में हो, कहीं भी करते हैं, तो हमने देखा कि फैकल्टी मेंबर जो 40-50 साल के उम्र के ऊपर है, those who are above 40 years, 50 years, in the middle ages, such faculty also almost like young children, when they get some important item, to play with, they keep on testing with it and don't leave till they successfully complete, to understand that, to open it up and then do everything possible in the process, sometimes even spoil that the toy. And that is how our faculty members kept on doing in those workshops. And that is what is being planned in the ATAL workshops now. That is 2-week training programs, 1 week being theoretical in the evening. The other 1 week will be the practice approach, hands-on approach, where they will learn this. So both ATAL Academy and the labs which we are developing as idea labs, they are absolutely complementary to each other in training. And whatever teachers learn in this process has to be experimented on our students also. Give them the same amount of freedom to make use of the facilities that are in the college. And if you do that, we don't have to keep on telling that India has to become an innovative nation. We are already becoming, through the Smart India hackathons, through the innovation cells that we have constituted in different institutions, different challenging problem statements which are given to the colleges and students. We have observed that India's ranking has already improved from 81st position to 46th position. And it is not too far away that by the efforts of all of you who are getting trained in these 200-odd ATAL Academy workshops, as well as the training that is provided in different formats, we will become innovative nation, and our ranking soon will certainly be within the top 20. Of course, we have to come to top 10, top 5, and so on. But that will take a little more time. But at least whatever is possible, we have been all capable doing, and we have been doing. My best wishes for all of you for being engaged in this. Although we received more than 5,000 applications, we had to screen down to about 1,000, then down to 200. Many of the institutions whose FDP programs are not selected this year don't get disheartened. There were limitations this year. We had limitations of the funds as well as the time. We will certainly expand this into more number of faculty development workshops in the coming years. But this time, those who are selected, congratulations to them. Those who are not selected, they may also try to come in the next year and then continue to forge ahead in order to create what we know as faculty empowerment program. This is an empowering program. It is empowerment because it is not just because these faculty development programs, after you complete, you will get those important points for getting your promotions under career advancement scheme. But more important, you are going to learn something new. I think you take that in the spirit. Promotion वगैरह अपने आप होते रहेगा. That should be treated as a spin-off benefit and not the main benefit. The main benefit is we are learning something. We are going to contribute to the nation. We are contributing to our students who are becoming entrepreneurs, who are becoming employable, and they are going to create the nation. Not only nation, but they are going to create the whole world to be a better place to live in. With these few words, I compliment all of you. Thank you very much. Namaskar. Jai Hind.
हार्दिक धन्यवाद महोदय. आपके द्वारा की गई अनेक पहल भारत के तकनीकी शिक्षा जगत के उत्थान के इतिहास में आपके योगदान को अंकित करने में पूर्णतः सक्षम है। बहुत बहुत आभार। आपने अपने वक्तव्य के माध्यम से सभी का मार्गदर्शन प्रदान किया। हमारा सौभाग्य है कि आज हमारे बीच डॉक्टर मनु के वोरा, चेयरमैन एंड प्रेसिडेंट बिजनेस एक्सीलेंस यूएसए उपस्थित हैं। मैं आग्रह करती हूँ डॉक्टर मनु के वोरा जी से कि वे इस सभा को संबोधित करें। डॉक्टर मनु के वोरा जी।
Namaskar and good afternoon to all of you. Thank you very much for including me in this great program. And in the interest of time, I'm going to share a brief presentation with my thoughts on redesign ATAL FDP program. Most of the items are covered by Mamtaji and others. So Honorable Chairman Anil Sahasrabudhe, Vice Chairman Punya ji, Member Secretary Rajiv Kumar ji, Mamta Rani ji, special guest, my fellow alumnus Jaswinder ji and Rajita ji, and congratulations to all the coordinators and co-coordinators who have been selected as the best of the best FDPs for the academic year 22-23. Brief roadmap, I will begin with a few inspiring quotes from Albert Einstein, which we can use to inspire ourselves as a faculty so that we can impart best knowledge to our students. And then purpose of these FTPs is to effectively implement National Education Policy 2020 by creating motivated, energized, and capable faculties, and briefly touch upon some of the ideas which have been discussed with some numbers, and redesign FDPs, focus about getting the learners engaged first, and then use innovative pedagogy and the importance of continuous comprehensive assessments so that ultimately the byproduct or the main product will be improved teaching learning process. And I'll summarize it briefly, and please have at least a couple of takeaways from this brief presentation I'll be sharing with you. And let us all remember that Will Durant has already told us that education is a progressive discovery of our own ignorance. So we need to overcome that ignorance and keep learning, become the lifelong learner, as mentioned by several of the speakers before. So first one, according to Einstein, is the supreme art of the teacher to awaken the joy in creative expression and knowledge. And we all have that power to do it as a faculty. Other thing is we have to understand that if we can't explain it simply, then we are not understanding that subject enough. So we have to make it simple enough. And only source of knowledge is experience. Jaswinder ji talked about the practical experience and knowledge needed, and learn from yesterday, leave for today, and hope for tomorrow. So the main aspect which the ATAL Academy FDP is focusing on is to improve the teaching learning process and create the motivated, energized, and capable faculties. As mentioned by several speakers, including Mamta ji, that 2,945 FDP proposals were received, out of which ATAL 200 FDPs have been approved. And let's all remember what Nelson Mandela told us. Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. And here we have a unique opportunity with NEP 2020. We can essentially put India at the forefront of the education domain around the world. So here are some of the facts in numbers. The 1920, 190 FDP, 10,000 faculties were trained. During the pandemic, 2020-21, 948 FDPs, 165,000 faculties trained. Last academic year, 21-22, 1,507 FDPs, 242,000 faculties were trained. But this year is a combination of online, offline, 200 ATAL FDPs with 10,000 faculties which will be trained. And here are some of the key highlights of the redesign FDP. big focus on quality over quantity to improve the teaching learning process, collaborative, experiential, and outcome-based FDPs, and I'll elaborate on that model briefly. Focus on learners' engagement. All those things are academic unless the faculties and people who are coming into this program are fully engaged. Updated eligibility for the coordinators and the attendees. Coordinators are stringent requirement, 10 years associate professor or 5 years full professor. Attendees will be nominated by the department heads and the deans so that they attend the program. Eminent resource person from academia, industry, and alumni will be called upon to deliver these great FDPs. The coordinator checklist, which is a new thing. Big effort on identifying 2 research journal articles for the basic, 3 to 4 articles in the advanced and leadership FDPs. Big focus on collaborative learning in teams by reading the articles, summarizing them, discussing them, visiting the industry as well as institutions, doing a project during the FDP, and a reflection journal, what is the outcome of the program, and I'll share some the brief templates which are in the annexure. And today here we are celebrating the launch of the academic year 22-23 ATAL FDP's program. So here I wanted to share with you 12 keys to the kingdom for learners engagement. And if we follow this, we can create magic in the classroom. And I've been fortunate enough to use these techniques, 12 items for the last 29 years in the academics. And as a faculty, need to share the importance and real world application of the topic to excite the learners. Then you can assign the topic to a student to do little research and share the findings in the classroom and keep rotating them. Have some topical question, more like icebreaker at the beginning. And at the end, ensure that there are key takeaways from the session so that everybody is having a good understanding of the subject covered. Harvard Business Publishing gave 4 items listed 6 to 9. Can conduct a short poll or do the role plays. You can arrange a small groups to discuss and report back to the class. For sure, arrange for a team project and ask the team to share their findings towards the end of the program. And guest speakers can be brought in to bring the different perspectives. Last 3 items are very critical for us as a faculty, that we need to deliver basic concepts and principles. So there is no need for memorization. We need to get away from the old model of mugging up and vomiting. Allow the curiosity and innovativeness to flourish in the classroom. And very important last item, lifelong learning as a faculty, that we continue to replenish our knowledge so that we are at the cutting edge and give our best to the students. And if we do that, we get a gold star. So here there is an analogy. The faculty who are delivering this program, they are the powerful transmitter. However, you need to have a well-tuned receivers. Those are the people who are in the program, learners, students, etc. I'll quickly walk through some of the basic models which have been used, as well as I've been deploying it since the beginning of my academic career in 1993. In my classes, students are involved in their own learning, and when they learn something, they are required to apply it on a live project, and they are required to share it with the classmates and among the team itself and across the teams. So there is a big component of peer learning and class interactions, which we need to focus upon throughout India. Now, faculty generally learns in a solo fashion. So I'm presenting a model using a famous acronym CSIR, Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, calibrated as a learning by the faculty in a collaborative fashion under the scientific guidance of expert resource people by doing lots of introspection and reflection, which will enhance their learning and then they will be able to transmit that knowledge to their students. Once again, peer learning and class interactions are extremely critical. And this is the model, collaborative, experiential, and outcome-based, which has been adopted within the ATAL FDP for academic year 22-23. So when I started teaching in 93 in the business school here, I came from the industry with about 18 years experience already. And what I saw in the industry, success came from teamwork. So I wanted to simulate that environment in the academia. So all my classes have a collaborative team focus. Cooperation is required within the team, across the team. It's experiential. There is a project-based learning, and they study about 7 to 8 articles from the top of the top journals like Harvard Business Review, MIT Sloan Management Review, McKinsey and Company, etc. And ultimately, what is the outcome of the program? They write up the reflection journal. And I'll share the two annexure just for reinforcement. So each of the teams you will be forming, you have 50 people attending your FDP as a coordinator. You are going to form 10 teams, 5 members per team, and each team will read the article individually and collectively within the team and fill up this 2-page team article summary, which is annexure 4. First part is key principles and practices, 3 to 4 bullets per team. Second part is very important, where individually they will show the bridge between theory and the practice. And the third part, 3 to 4 key takeaways per team. Now, the purpose of doing this is we read many things, but the retention is low. So in order to increase the retention and understanding, this is done in a team setting where there is a lot of reading, discussion, summarization, and sharing across the team to learn different perspectives. The reflection journal, which is annexure 5, is very simple one-pager where individually each of the participant attendees of the FDP will fill out in a bullet form 3 key learnings outcome from the FDP, 3 key lessons they will implement, and share the implementation plan for the 3 key lessons in the bullet form. Very important to remember that in the prior FDPs, there was only attendance and MCQ. The whole program has been revamped with the 22-23 academic year. There are multiple and continuous and comprehensive assessment as shown here. So not only attendance, but there will be variety of other assessments being done to ensure that the attendees are learning and they are able to retain some good knowledge, which they take it back to their institute after the completion of the FDP. And all these details are in the scheme document. I've just summarized it here for your benefit. So to wrap it up, my presentation, in my mind, the role of the faculty is to do 4 things: excite, engage, empower, and challenge. Excite your learners by showing the importance and application of the topic. Engage them by doing group activities and peer learning, and empower them by providing relevant resources, and challenge them to find their solutions to the problem. We as a faculty do not give out solution. We just give them the pathway so that they find their own solution. And in the end, this innovative pedagogy and continuous assessment should become part of all the higher education institutes so that we can have an improved teaching learning process, which will allow us to have successful deployment of National Education Policy 2020. We need to engage all stakeholders through resource persons from academia, alumni, and industry. And we need to harness their experience, expertise, knowledge, and wisdom so that we can complete the successful NEP 2020 journey. We need to adopt global best practices in education at all higher education institutes to make India one of the top destinations for education. And this is one of the things we need to encourage at India scene, share good practices so that everybody benefits. And in the end, let's educate and empower teachers to uplift the nation. With that, of takeaways, you can write it down from the brief presentation I made. And I want to thank you once again for allowing me to be part of this program. And I'm stopping my sharing at this point. And once again, thank you for great opportunity to be part of this great program. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, to spare your valuable time for us. Thank you very much. शिक्षक ही एक सुसभ्य एवं शांतिपूर्ण, अभिनवतापूर्ण, नव निर्माणकारी समाज का निर्माता होता है। तेजी से बदलती तकनीक और कौशल के समय में पुरानी पद्धति आज नहीं चलने वाली है। ऐसे समय में शिक्षकों को निरंतर नवीनतम ज्ञान से अवगत होना चाहिए, उन्हें उस ज्ञान से सुसज्जित होना चाहिए। और यह बीड़ा अखिल भारतीय तकनीकी शिक्षा परिषद ने उठाया है और वह अपने इस प्रयास में पूर्णतः सफल भी रही हैं और इसे नई ऊंचाइयों तक लेकर गई हैं। इसलिए मैं एक बार जोरदार तालियों के साथ हमारे नेतृत्व और इस कार्य से जुड़े अपने सभी साथियों का अभिनंदन करने का आप सबसे अनुरोध करती हूँ। कोई भी छोटा सा कार्य भी जब किया जाता है तो उसमें अनेक लोगों का परिश्रम जुड़ा होता है। यह एक बहुत महत्वपूर्ण कार्य था जिस कैलेंडर का आज हमने शुभारंभ किया है। मैं हमारे निदेशक महोदय श्री दिनेश कुमार जी से अनुरोध करती हूँ कि वह कृपया एक औपचारिक धन्यवाद प्रस्ताव यहाँ रखें। दिनेश कुमार।
Sada Namaskar, very good afternoon to all. Respected sir and madam, thank you is such a prayer that cannot be seen or touched. It must be felt by the heart. With due permission from our honorable chief guest, it's my immense pleasure to propose vote of thanks on this memorable occasion of launch of ATAL FDP calendar 22-23 and orientation session for coordinators and co-coordinators. I express my sincere gratitude and heartfelt thanks to our honorable chairman of AICT, Professor Anil D. Shastrabudhe sir, who has kindly consented to be the chief guest of today's program. Respected sir, your gracious presence and inspiring words will always motivate us to set new examples of excellence in all of our forthcoming endeavors. My utmost and sincere thanks to our honorable vice chairman, Professor MP Punia sir, and honorable member secretary, Professor Rajiv Kumar sir, for gracing this occasion by your enlightening address comprising of treasure of your thoughts. We are always blessed by an unstinted support, guidance, motivation from our visionary GEM leaders. I have no hesitation to share that all our three officers are the great pillars of AICT who have revamped, transformed, and infused new energy in our working by their holistic and able leadership, by virtue of which AICT has become the utmost premier organization of the country. I owe special thanks to our most dynamic, dedicated, and devoted worthy advisor, ma'am, Srimati Mamta Rani Agarwal ji, for her meticulously planning, designing, and execution of an exemplary redesigned scheme document for FDPs, which received an overwhelming response all over the country. Nearly 3,000 applicants were registered for the FDPs. Under her able guidance, ATAL Academy is achieving new goals and heights, like conferring 3 global awards as discussed earlier, successful launch of ATAL portal, ATAL calendar as of today itself, and many more successful transformations in ATAL cell, due to which ATAL has become an promising cell of our council. My heartfelt thanks to today's distinguished keynote speaker, Dr. K. Manu Oraji, Chairman and President Business Excellence INC USA, who has been inspiring and guiding us from every bit of beginning, minute to till date. Sir has burnt midnight oil for making us successful by providing strong support and encouragement. Even today, it's nearly 3 o'clock in the early morning, and sir is still with us. Thank you very much, sir. Respected sir, I am highly thankful for your exemplary motivational address. My sincere thanks to renowned reformer and today's keynote speaker, Professor Rajita Kulkarni ji, President of Sri Sri University Bhubaneswar, for your powerful thought-provoking address. Thank you, ma'am. We have just listened to the inspiring, insightful address on industry-academia linkage by our eminent technocrat, Shri Jaswinder Ahuja ji, Corporate Vice President and MD of Cadence Design System. I owe my sincere thanks to you, sir. Honestly, I have no words strong enough to express my gratitude to all the eminent expert committee members who have spared their valuable time, precise time, for rigorous, precise, and annotated evaluation of 2951, nearly 3,000 FDP proposals. They have done a great accomplishment, sir. Thank you very much, sir. My sincere thanks to my colleague, Dr. Girdari Lal Garg, Assistant Director, for his motivation, inspirational attributes, and an untiring effort from very beginning of the ATAL Academy from 2019 to till today. His vast knowledge and acumen in organizing FDP is outrightly remarkable, and due to which ATAL Academy has achieved a lot and much more to come. I like to express my sincere thanks to all the regional officers of our AICT, all AICT officers and officials, all the coordinators and co-coordinators who are present in this auditorium and also who have joined us in the online mode to make this program a memorable event. I sincerely thank to all the IT consultants, data entry operators, office staff of ATAL Academy for their hard work and dedication to convert this program into a successful event. Last but not least, my thanks are due to the officer and officials of media cells, e-governance, Administrative Bureau, Finance Bureau, and all other officers who have directly and indirectly contributed to have this program a huge success. In last, we would like to assure you that ATAL Academy is ATAL to create more and more champion gurus to fulfill the dream of our honorable chief guest and honorable chairman for India to become a Vishwa Guru again. अतः मैं पुनः आबादशीट की तरफ से आप सभी प्रबुद्ध जन का तहे दिल से शुक्रिया अदा करता हूं. थैंक यू वेरी मच एंड हैव अ प्लेजेंट ग्रेट इवनिंग अहेड. जय हिंद.
धन्यवाद सर. अपने राष्ट्र के बिना हम अधूरे हैं, इसलिए राष्ट्र के बिना कोई भी आयोजन पूरा नहीं हो सकता. आइए हमारी आन बान शान राष्ट्रगीत के लिए, राष्ट्रगान के लिए सभी सुर से सुर मिलाते हैं.
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता. पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल गंगा. विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना नम्मा उत्कल जलधि तरंगा. तब शुभ नामे जागे, तब शुभ आशीष मांगे. गाहे तब जय गाथा. जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता.